Look, dude, if you find yourself snoring loudly during a movie, either kindly remove yourself or just make sure you don't do it again. I don't even know how you fell asleep in this movie. Us is the new film written and directed by Jordan Peele, and it stars Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke. I can't go too deep into the plot without giving a lot of it away, but suffice it to say that it's about people encountering darker, alternate versions of themselves. I remember liking Get Out when I first saw it, and I know a lot of people were praising it as the best horror film of this decade, and I didn't really see it that way. Perhaps there was a little too much hype surrounding the movie and I set my standards incredibly high for the movie. I remember liking Get Out, and I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch it, especially after watching this, which I also want to go see a second time, because there's just so much in this movie. There's a detail hidden in every scene, whether it's symbolism or something to serve the story or something to just add to the metaphor. And all the little details fully communicate to me that Jordan Peele fully understands that everything on screen matters. This is a visual medium. Why not use everything you can to convey your message and your story? Lupita Nyong'o is fantastic in this film. She carries the entire thing. In fact, the entire cast turns in pretty solid performances. The writing in this film is pretty sharp, and there are a couple of bits where they stop to do a little bit of a comedic relief. It doesn't take any scenes and grind them to a halt. It just kind of adds a little comedic relief to kind of lighten the mood, because this is a very dark film. And like I said, there's so much to process about this thing. I saw this film at 3 o'clock yesterday, and I'm still thinking about it. There's just a massive amount to analyze and understand. I was reading through the comments on the r/movies subreddit to see what people thought about this movie, and they were bringing up things that I didn't even notice. And so with that information in mind and knowing how this movie plays out, I want to go and see it again to see if that changes my viewing experience. Now, not everything in this film fully lines up logically. Jeremy Jahns kind of brought this up in his spoiler talk video for the movie, but everything else is so interesting that you just kind of forget about that doesn't really become an issue. He brought up old science fiction stuff and some episodes from the Twilight Zone, which Jordan Peele is set to be doing, and I'm really excited for that. How some of those things don't always make the most sense when you really break them down, but the message is there, and that's the important thing, and I feel like that really applies to this. Now, a lot of people were complaining about how some things didn't make sense. I think the stupidest complaint I saw was there's this underground tunnel, and you see a couple of the shots in the trailer, and there's just a bunch of rabbits running around, and one of their complaints about this movie was, well, why was it so clean down there? With all the rabbits down there, it would have been disgusting. Okay, well, that's not really a complaint against the movie. It's a stylistic choice. I'm not saying this is the most brilliant piece of film ever made, or this is the most philosophical film I've ever seen, but it absolutely deserves to be recognized as a modern masterpiece, a great horror film, and a strong follow-up to Get Out. And if films like Get Out and Us are indicators of what's to come next, I'm very interested. The cinematography in this thing is incredible. There are some fantastic shots, there are some haunting images. I absolutely adore the soundtrack for this film, and I feel like that's a big thing that a lot of filmmakers just kind of tend to overlook. It's just, okay, well, we got music that kind of fits the mood, so alright, whatever. But the soundtrack is tailor-made for this film. I could not imagine this soundtrack on any other film, and that just shows the level of time and effort that was put into this film. All in all, Us is a fantastic follow-up to Get Out. Like I said, I'm interested to see what Peele does next. I'm very interested to watch this film again. I can't wait to add it to my Blu-ray collection. I love this film. When you break it down, a couple of things don't entirely make sense, but the rest of the film just kind of overshadows that, and so I'm going to give Us an A-. Hey guys, have you seen Us? If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Let me know what your interpretation of the film is. Peele said he had a very specific intent for the film and what the film actually means, but as we all know, art can take on a different meaning when it's interpreted by the audience. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me over on Facebook at Mario Bennese YouTube, and I'll see you later.